How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Brandon, and today I have another Gran Turismo Sport video for you guys. It's another one of the Interlagos gameplay, this time with a different car. But before I get into that, I want to remind you guys that I have Black Ops 4 and Zombies videos if you guys want to check those videos out. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this one as well on my channel. So like I said, we are back on Interlagos, which I think at this point I got a little bit more practice, so I could be a little bit more consistent in this track. Also, too, another thing which is different from the previous video is that I actually chose to use a different car. I think I used the RCF. I think it's a Lexus. That car is actually really good. In the previous video, I was using the Porsche 911, and let me tell you, I really think that there's a difference. I didn't set a qualifying time. I didn't set a qualifying time before I got into this race. I kind of just threw myself into the race, but it right away when I was driving the car, it felt really more rooted to the ground than the previous car was. And I think that's why the some of the best times in the world were with this car, probably because it's easier to handle. The handling is just a lot better. But here on the fourth lap of this race, I'm actually behind this guy who's spinning himself off like crazy. So I just absolutely take that position. I'm not even going to complain about that. But skipping ahead one more to the fifth lap of the race, the last lap, the guy in front of me actually has a penalty. So I'm hoping that I was hoping that I was close enough to get that position from him, that sixth place position. But I don't know. He just got it off in time, as you saw right there. So he was able to keep the sixth position, and I just had to stay with the seventh place, which I'm not really complaining about. I had started in seventh place, so I mean, at some point in the race I was in eighth place, so I was lucky to get that one back. These races are just really good. They're really consistent. I feel like the thing that I've realized about people who are rated a lot higher than who are rated more like toward the B, I mean not the B but the A rating, they tend to be able to stick to what their qualifying time was. If their qualifying was like this amount, they would be able to like lap during the race within that amount of time, like probably within 2 seconds. I mean not 2 seconds, but 0.2 of a second off of that time, which is really good. It's really important, and that's probably why they've made it to where they were at that point. But anyways, here's the qualifying lap. I'm going through the slow section now. The thing that I struggled a lot with during this section of the track is that I actually didn't really know where to brake. I kind of just guessed on my braking points. Like usually you would look to the left side or the right side, wherever the little meter markers are, the 100 or 150 meter boards and stuff. Other times you would just look at little cues, like maybe an orange spot here or the end of the grass or whatever. Here during the slow section of this track, it's really hard to pick out your breaking points, because for me, at least for me, there was not really anything that stood out to me that was like, okay, this is my breaking point. Once I reach this, I have to brake. I kind of just guessed for the most part, and I did pretty good at guessing for the most part, but I was still blindly braking at a lot of the points during this track. But here we go. I'm starting in fifth place, which is actually really great. I was starting more down the track a lot of the time, so starting in fifth place was a really big improvement. You see, I improved my time by 0.5 of a second, and it jumped me from like around 10th, 9th place to about 5th place. So really big improvement. I think that the improvement came from the car for me, because it was a lot easier for me to handle. The car wasn't really sliding all over the place like the 911 was. So this car was a lot easier to control, much less drama. But getting into the race now, this guy right in front of me is now 1 second off of me. I'm 3 seconds off of the lead at this point, but it's the start of the race, so I shouldn't think too much of it. These guys have been racing a lot, and just about every single race that you've seen on this video and the last one, the guys that are number like 1, 2, and 3 were just in about every single video. Those guys were fast. Crazy fast. But anyways, here I go. During the first lap, it was really no drama. There was nothing. Like, this car was really settled down, and you can see the person behind me is 2 seconds off from me, and like it made a difference. The guy I think actually behind me, he probably made a mistake because now he's 3 seconds off. But but yeah, so coming to the end of the first lap, I'm still in fifth place. Um, I think another thing that the car did for me was it made me be a little bit more consistent since there was much less slide, much less drama than the line 911 was. It's more rooted to the ground. It's much easier for me to have more consistency throughout the race, throughout the laps, like throughout every single lap that I did. So you can see right here that I wasn't really making any mistakes, but I wasn't sliding all over the place, which is really good. Which is exactly what you need when you're racing this game. So you can see right here the top 5 still hasn't changed much, hasn't changed at all actually. The guy that is in 6th place right now, he's about 4.5 seconds off of me, so I don't really have to worry too much about that. There's kind of a really big gap behind me and the guy in 6th place, but I as much as I can take it easy right now, not have to worry about the pressure of being chased from behind. I also have to think about I want to pick up as many positions as I possibly can, so I'm gonna try to catch the guy in 4th place. But him, like me and the first 3 guys, we are being very, very consistent right now, and things are looking good for me and them. There's nothing crazy that I need to do right now. I just need to keep my head in the game and just keep trying to push forward and just keep trying to pick up that position. So going down this long straight now, the guy in front is now about 2 seconds off, which is probably because I was still focused on trying to stay consistent and not trying to fall off the track or whatever. But I really needed to pick up the pace at this point. But so far that was the fastest lap of my race, 1:34.0, which is really, really good. You see, I think in my last video I did like a 1:34.2, which was pretty close to my time, to my qualifying time, which at the time was 1:33.9. Here I have a 1:34.0, but I skipped ahead to the last lap. As you can see, just about nothing has happened. The top 5 has stayed exactly the same, but the guys behind me are about 7 seconds off of me, and the guy in 4th place is about 4 seconds ahead. So I'm just running a really, really lonely race right now. I'm just all by myself. You know, there's nothing I could really do at this point. You can see the guy in 4th place right there, but I think it's like the top 3 were racing their own race, and then the guy in 4th place and me were racing our own race, but he was quite a little bit faster than me, or a little bit more faster in his racing laps, and he pulled away. So he was running his own race, and so was I, and then was the rest of the pack behind me. So that's just how these things went. But the good thing is though that I didn't make any mistakes. My car didn't lose control at all during any point in the race. So I'm just about gonna finish where I started. So going through the final turn here, he is pretty much far ahead of me enough to not have to worry about anything. And me, I made it through the last turn. So I don't know if that's technically the second to last turn, or if that's the last turn or not, or whatever. But that's the last main breaking point. So coming up to the line now, I am finished with the 1:34.5, and I finished in 5th place, which is good. I think considering the amount of people that are rated a lot higher than me, that's about as good as I can get. I did a clean race because I was just by myself the entire time. But anyways, 5th place was really good. So that's going to be the end of the video, you guys. So if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more of this, make sure you like and subscribe. And check out all the other videos on my channel. I got Black Ops 4 and Zombies. So until next time, you guys, peace out.